Hi everyone, it's Ali and thanks so much for joining us again on the Heffy Doodle YouTube channel. Today I'm going to bring you this really fun little slider card using the Oodles and Poodles of Love stamp set. I'm starting with a craft card base and just measuring up some watercolour cardstock there, as I'm going to do a watercolour background. So I'm using Salty Ocean, Broken China, Peeled Paint and Bundled Sage for the colours here. So I've got 2 shades for the sky and 2 shades for the grass. I'm just going to, I forgot to actually wet my paper first, so I just washed off some of that paint and wet the paper, and then went in with my lightest blue colour to start off with. And it was quite rough. I just did it really roughly and quickly. I wasn't too worried about it. I like that rough look with the watercolour background, so just went in with my colours here and there and did a few darker patches in the sky as well. Then a really quick clean up on my media mat, which is quite easy just with a baby wipe go and clean that up, and then going in with the 2 green colours. Again, the same technique, just wet the paper a bit first and then went in with my lightest green and then darkest and did it a little bit patchy here and there. I always don't like to spend too much time on these watercolours. I just like that really quick watercolour look. And then just dried it off with my heat tool, just a little, and then put it aside to dry off a little bit more as well. So then going to grab my Oodles and Poodles of Love stamp set. I'm just getting out the little post box and the dog and the envelope with the heart. And I really love this set. It's got the different post boxes in it, so it pretty much covers all areas of the globe. And of course you can colour them depending on what your country has. So Australia, we have red post boxes, sometimes shaped like that one that I've picked. So I'm going to colour mine in red today. So I'm just going to stamp those out with my extreme black ink, or you can use Memento Tuxedo Black. And with my Misty, I was finding I was pushing too hard on the first stamp, because I always stamp twice to get a good image, and I was pushing too hard, so I've just gotten used to really just lightly doing that first stamp and then going in with another light stamp as well, and you get quite a good image from that. So I'm going to colour those in. If you're interested in the colouring, please stick around. I'm going to put some music on while I'm colouring, just in case you are interested in watching the colouring, and I will see you again after I finish the colouring. Okay, so now I have finished the colouring. I'm just going to run that through my big shot with the corresponding dies to cut all those pieces out. And I was just placing them on to see which of the slider die cuts I needed to use. I'm using the Lawn Fawn slide on over semicircles, and I picked the one that was going to fit best with the card there, just held it in place and then ran it through my big shot. And I've had a few little marks on my background piece because my big shot plates are a little dirty, so I was just rubbing that off with my mono sand eraser, which is a really handy little eraser to have around. So I've used that a lot because I always seem to smudge things or get a bit of something somewhere where I don't need it, and the mono sand eraser just really is fantastic to take that away. Now I'm going to stick on that little piece that came out of the slider onto the background, onto the card base. So I've levelled up my background there, got it central, and now I'm going to stick the piece in with a little bit of glue and then gently take off my background piece because I need to work on that a little bit more. And I'm going to now do my slider element, and I decided to use some acetate circles which I've punched out because I couldn't use coins in this case because the envelope was quite small. Another hint is if you haven't got round pieces of 3D foam, then use a punch to punch some circles out and then stick those together to make a little round piece. You can use a square piece of foam, just have to, once you've constructed it, you just have to run it through the channel quite a lot so that it wears a round little bit in the foam so that it rolls properly. So now I'm just sticking those onto one of my acetate circles and then sticking the other acetate circle on the front. And then my envelope can go over the top, and it doesn't matter if you see a bit of the acetate circle because obviously it's clear. So yeah, I wouldn't say it works as well as it does with a coin because the coins have got that weight to them, but it works quite well. I just put a piece of black card behind my postbox because I realised it needed to be black there, not cut out in that spot, and adhered that onto my card in the right place. Then it was time to adhere on my little dog as well. Put him there so he's almost jumping up, throwing the envelope, and then it slides like so. And then I'm just rubbing it around so that it creates a little channel in the foam and slides a little bit better. Now just covering the back of that background piece with my 3D foam there. And I'm using a bit of Glad Bake because I find that my 3D foam is really sticky, and if I just stick it down I can't manage it that well. So if I stick it on some baking paper, we call it here in Australia, and then stick a few pieces on, I can cut it up and cut it to the right size without it making my scissors really sticky. So I find that's quite helpful, a helpful thing to do. So now I'm just cutting it up to the right sort of sections that I need and putting that all over the back of that piece. And that's how it's going to slide. Just taking off all the backing on that 3D foam, and then I had to stand up and get directly over the top of it and line it up so that it was in line with the channel that I'd already stuck onto the card base. And that's how it's going to spin. So it spins sometimes and slides other times. It didn't really bother me. It's cute either way. Then I just grabbed a sentiment and decided on the sending Oodles and Poodles of love. And then I actually decided that I wanted the sending to be bigger. So I got my sending die, my sending Heffy cut, and cut that out of brown card to match the base card. And then stamped my little sentiment Versamark and white embossed it. These are the cute little puffy clouds from Heffy Doodle as well, so I die cut a few of them and stuck them on. Now just sticking on my sentiments. Don't forget the eye on the dot on the eye, and that's the card. So I hope you really enjoyed it, and this is it in action. It was a bit hard to do with one hand. I'm so sorry because I had to use the other hand to hold the phone. So thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time. Here's a few more videos that you might enjoy as well, and have a great day.